Hello, welcome back to another video. This is the Gtmr third race. I was in the first race, but my game blue screen. Then the second race had TC bug that was slowing me down, so I just left it. So technically, this is the first race I've completed. The boys have gladly enough let me race with them today on, well, this fine evening. And the start was pretty good, I would say. There was not major collisions. It's very packed into the corner. You would usually see in sport mode someone getting sent off into the barrier. There's a couple of people going to the shadow realm because they are understeered or was a bit too aggressive on the throttle. And we go into here. I try and take the inside. Everyone's being really defensive on the first lap. I just managed to get that very narrow window. And no, after the update, these Sylvias, I believe, had 100 kg added and like 20 extra brake, so they don't handle as good before the update anymore, and they chew through tires. Really tight pack going into this corner, and I think there was a bit of contact behind me because the pack kind of slowed down there, probably indicating some type of contact there. Ooh, Tiger goes absolutely wide on that corner, but he's able to keep the lead in front of me. And may also add, like, meanwhile, like, I had to mute the audio because everyone was honking their horns behind me. So yeah. Tiger's decent for a bit. He brakes a bit heavy, forces me to slam my anchors on. I'm not gonna dive bomb him because that would be, there's no way I would make that. Time to use the curbs as an advantage here. Just go a little bit tighter than him on there, full throttle. Absolutely on his rear right end. Ooh, and I mess up. I get a bit too greedy, and I get a bit too thirsty, and the one curb can do that to you if you hit the wrong curb. Did a little power slide through there. I'm desperate to get as close again. Massive understeer then, like really big, massive understeer. Usually the races in these lobbies are jammed packed. But if you want to join Gtmr, their racing league, all that, I'll put down their website below in the description. I'll showcase the first lap of the whole first lap, and then I'll break it down into highlights. Because, well, you want to see how everyone, because I remained up to the top, not mid or down to the bottom of the pack. So, me personally, I don't have a lot of footage. And Tiger goes absolutely wide on that corner. Ooh, now it's just chasing Dan down. Dan had a wonderful start. Mind you, that Japanese guy in first is super fast. He, spoiler alert, he's going to hold first for the whole entire race, because he's got such a big lead. Chasing down on Dan. Can Dan keep his cool whilst I pressure him? Ooh, going dreadfully slow around there. I decide I want to make car babies with the curb and mount the curb. Down to the long sweeping corner. You used to be able to coast fairly well around there with the pretty update, but you got to slam your anchors before you do the turn. Because I find this new tyre model, you have to be more gentle on the brakes, especially in the Sylvias, because before it used to oversteer on the brake, and now it oversteers on the braking. But you can be fairly aggressive with the throttle though. But the only downside is you're gonna wear your tyres out a ton. Well, ooh, Dan's gone a bit slow through there, a bit too slow. Closed the gap a little, and he's off because he got better exit speed. But is he able to hold the line here? Ooh, and he scrapes the wall. That is going to make him lose a lot of time. He spun up his wheels. He caught it though. Well, so I've always got this thing that I say to Dan: monkey see, monkey do. Because then, like, practice lobbies, like, if he's right behind me, what I'll do is I spin my wheels up and he'll spin his wheels up. And he's gone up and he cuts in front, forcing me to go on the grass, but I keep it under control. Bit reckless rejoin right there, but not too bad. Just hearing that Sylvia roar. And I'm gonna make big time now. I'm gonna try and push it as my hardest to try and get away from Dan, because I aim so aggressive, I drive so aggressive. These like medium tyres only last me about like 2 laps after the pit on the 3rd lap. That's not good, because everyone else would last on like 4 laps. They'll have to pit on the 4th lap. It's just I need to be a little less aggressive, but being on the Nürburgring and in the Sylvia touring cars, you got to be really aggressive, because you need all that exit speed, because they're not Group 3, Group 2, Group 1 machines, so you're gonna lose a lot of time. Not too bad. He's right behind me. Dan is. Tries to go on the cheeky inside. Luckily Ghostin was on, otherwise he would have taken the both of us out. And I lose a bit of grip. I lose a lot of grip through that and a lot of time. But is Dan able to take me? Yes, he is. I managed to do a massive mistake there and go on the absolutely stupidly wide. But can he hold it through here? No. Pressure gets to him, and RIP. And pressure gets to me, and I go a bit on the gravel, because I'm a bit special. I was just absolutely flabbergasted to see what happened behind me. And you may ask why I blurred their cars in the start. Is because, well, they've got no things that YouTube won't allow. So yeah, I would have, but TOS, mate, I don't want to risk it. Absolutely throwing it through here, made massive time. And we're coming towards the end of the clip, and I'll show the highlights really shortly. This is a 22-minute long video, yes, I know, long. But hopefully if you break it down into segments, like I've got to learn more on how to do highlights in this and short it down, otherwise this would just be like out of a whole hour's worth of race. I've shortened it down to 22, and I'm going to be honest, since I remained mainly top of the pack, I didn't see a lot of things happen at all. But when this lap's finished, we're going to go on to the highlights, and we're going to cut on to what I saw, because I didn't save the replay, because again, I'm a bit special and I forgot to save the replay. So that's basically the time you want to be setting around here, and the average was 9 minutes or 8 minutes 50 or 8 minutes 40 that the Japanese guy was getting. He was getting like 8 minute 48, like something stupid. The censored car, that I censored at the start, comes here, tries to dive bomb, fails to dive bomb, and messes the race up a little for him. He honks his horn. And it's side-by-side action. Is he going to back down on this corner? Yes, he's going to back down, because I've got the inside. But will he be able to hold it through here? Yes, he does. But he doesn't get as good exit speed. I'm slowly pulling away here. For some reason I always rev bang it around this corner. I don't know why. But he's going to remain roughly on my tail the whole way through into the straight. Until he does, I think, a slight mistake or I pulled away. I can't really remember. You could probably hear Dan in the background. Him just almost about to go ballistic and chuck his steering wheel across the room. And does he mess up? Yeah, unlucky. He gone wide, and that's cost him a lot of time and not to be my slipstream. So I got the lead on him here, and nothing really changes. Never overtook me. He got overtaken by Dan and Max, and I'm gonna be honest. There was an incident that's coming up with me and Max that I do take the blame for, because I did underestimate my car and did push him slightly. And me being a bit unique, my car decides to turn into a lawnmower since it hasn't been cut in about like 50 million years of grass. But Max behind me, putting a lot of pressure on. I must admit, I go wide, and I don't know how I butchered that corner, but he goes for the overtake here. Can I hold the inside? No, I can't hold the inside. He's just that bit too quick. And it will just be battling this for like remainder half the track, just constantly this cat and mouse until it gets later on that hairpin where I managed to carry a ton of speed through there, and that's when the incident happened. That should be coming up in like 2 minutes, 1 minute's time. So yeah, it's just remainder of this. It's just cat and mouse. He brakes too heavy, I catch up, then I mess up on the corner, he gets away, and it's just this the whole way through. You notice the clip's getting shorter and shorter because there wasn't much to look on, highlight and look upon. We're gonna shift to that clip very soon now, to the bit where I do take the blame for, because again I did miscalculate my car understeered, and then right. So we come up to this corner. This is the corner I was talking. This section here is where he notice starts pulling away, but he majorly brakes way too hard and loses way too much speed, in return messing up his exit speed. Not in this corner, but the massive hairpin. As you can see, you can mainly coast in 5th gear when the game tells you to shift down 4th and brake even harder. I just can't be asked to turn those settings off. I give him a little bit of a tap, and yeah, misjudgment, and I noticed straight away, so I said my bad, because I felt stupidly bad about it. I would have slowed down and given him position, but there was no point since Dan has already overtaken him, and well, yeah. Anyways, I'll go into pit because my tyres are completely short. Dan also has the same problems, so since we drive stupid aggressive, that's why we're like pole 2 and 3. We lose our poles very shortly here, making a lot of time to be made up. For some reason, this pit lane is so long. I've gone down to 6
There's a
pole.
mini map and that in the pit. That's
So yeah, me and Dan noticed the mini map in the pit that we don't know when it's been added, but we take it as this update because it's the first time we noticed it. So this corner remains relatively smooth. In the night, I do make a bit misjudgment because I look at the leaderboard and say, well, I've got to make a lot of time up, and I've got to fight, and I've got to fight like mad, and it's a bit like that. Went a bit, mount the curb a little, and it disturbed my car. But hopefully we'll be able to take this guy here. He blocks really heavily there and breaks. I don't see why he didn't go on the inside and try and carry speed between blocking me and trying to defend. It's a bit silly because now you've lost all that time. But he's going to make the position back up because I absolutely do a buffoon move and just give up the position. Because I was talking to Silly Santre about the whole incident and telling him, like, can you please tell him I'm sorry, I take the blame for it and all of that. And it throws me off and I kind of go into the wall. Also, the other reason why I really like this league is because we have Silly Santre that live hosts the game, so he watches everything in the background, gives warnings and chats about blue flags and that. It's just really helpful. This is the bit where I majorly mess up, man, I mean majorly. And that's a lot of time lost now, and I mean a lot of. These curbs, well, these apexes, like half of you, like you can take half of them and not end up with repercussions, or you can take them and it just completely ruin the your position and your race there, as you saw. I braked hard on Vista here. The apex gives me flight and I just end up in the wall. Nothing I can do about it. I was also listening to my tunes in the background, but I turned them off because I was like, I gotta focus really heavily. I was advised to lower the engine sound all the way down and raise the tyre sound, since I play in controller and it just gives me that more, I wouldn't say force feedback, but that like feedbacks you get from like, oh, am I pushing it too hard? Can I hear the tyre squeal? No, I can't, so I got to push it even harder. So I was mainly listening out for that. And here's where I also make a big mistake and lose a lot of time, but not enough. Not enough time indeed. And I mount the apex there, and again, it's because it's the night, I'm under pressure, I've got to make my position back, and well, Dan's behind me putting pressure, so I can't lose another position. So I try and go here. As you can see, I've completely messed this up. Completely messed the inside of that corner up, just on the grass, back on the grass. Should have stayed with the throttle equivalent and just made it slowly over understeer. Let's say oversteer. But as we see here, Dan tries to make a move. He tries to on radar, and he's 490 degrees. He's turning right into a straight, and that's not very advisable. I believe everyone pits in front of me here. Oh no, it's not this lap. They like this out for an extra lap. I believe one of them's on racing hards, one's on racing medium, so I do rate that is some good driving there with racing hards and racing mediums. It's just this guy here, the guy from Greece. He's really heavy on the brake when I'm behind him, and then he comes across the track, and it almost makes me lose it because I don't want to punt him off. So yeah, I stay behind him because, well, every time I'm close to him, he slams on the anchors, tries to block, and as we see, karma gets delivered. and can we take? I can't remember if we take him or if we take him in the pit. Yep, skill problem. What happened there was the same problem that happened when I was behind Max and nudged him a tiny bit. It's just the underestimate of understeer, and it just sends you off. Skill problem. It is a skill problem, me. I won't deny that. I'm not here saying I'm the best race. I'm not here saying I'm good. I wouldn't say I'm bad, but I would say I'm just like you know how you got like dog, then bad, and then you got like not decent but mediocre. I'd say I'm mediocre. He goes for his dinner halfway through. We do the overtake because I believe Silly gives him the boot because he's like, well, why are you eating and AFK during the race? Like, you know what the last person that did that got completely messed my race up on the first bit because I came to lapping him, and because he's AI, he just goes in a corner and it's like, well, I can't turn right because I'm under brakes, and I can't turn left because it's gravel and I get a half a second penalty. So what do? I've got to wait behind him. Most irritating thing. Well, luckily we didn't have that much problems with the AI right there. We overtaken the pits. Nothing big. Electric is behind me, and I did tell Electric after the race, GG's, like you would have taken me because my tyre wear is just too low, and I can't race with that low tyre wear. So if he was a little bit cautious and hadn't kept like a cool mind like here, I was absolutely panicking, and it just completely, he would have had me on the straight. But again, he kind of sees that I'm in second, he sees my car, he sees it's the last lap, he gets a bit and tries to put the power down, and he's off into the shadow realm. So we speed up the clip because nothing really here besides a victory. So yeah, hope you liked the race, and hope you enjoyed it. I might make another race if this gets another, well, make another video about these races if you do like them. Me personally, I found it quite enjoyable. Next race will be a 30-minute race instead of like an hour's race, so I do like that. But yeah, thanks for watching. See ya.